Hi everyone, welcome to YourPedia and this is Shubha. This video is for all the ones who are preparing for the interview of SAIL, that is Steel Authority of India Limited. Now you see that the interview process of SAIL is quite an extensive one. It carries multiple components inside it, be it your group discussion, group task, then it is your case studies, and the last but not the least about your PI, that is a generic HR and technical questions that you should be wisely prepared with. Now, to get good conduct of all these things, you need to be aware about the organization for which you are heading, and for that there is a single documentation where you get everything in detail, and then this video I'm going to showcase the glimpse of that documentation. This documentation you can get on YourPedia panel, where you can just list out all the important details, all the important pointers that you need to prepare for your interview selection. Now in this video, I'll be telling you the very first I'll be discussing about the brief of the documentation, and at last I'll be showcasing you some of the expected HR questions that you need to prepare for your interview. So let's get started. Like, what are the most important verticals that you need to prepare for SAIL? Now at the very start, this documentation, I repeat, it is available on YourPedia panel. In the download section, you can just download the documentation. At the very start, there is an introduction that is being given, that is under which ministry does it headed in. It was established in 1954 and was later incorporated as SAIL in 1973. So basically this is just a brief information, because sometimes they just start with a question like, what do you know about SAIL? So, or why you want to join SAIL? This can be a combination of certain project and about the generic idea what SAIL actually carries, what are the products and services which are being carried by SAIL. You can incorporate these stuff in your answers. Now, some important pointers. So here in this all about SAIL, I've given you in detailed information in the terms of pointers. That is a public sector undertaking, and its origin was related to HSL, which was set up on 19 January 1954, and then it was incorporated in 1973. Now currently number of employees, that's just a turnover. Now financial turnover is also very much important, and I'll be showcasing you the brief performance related to financial years. Then is who is the current chairman. That is very much important, because related to management part, yeah, Shri Amrendu Prakash, you should be aware about it. Now one more thing, that yes, where are the integrated steel plants of it. Now all these things like products क्या चल रहे हैं, कितना शेयर है सेल का, इक्विटी कितनी है, महार इतना स्टेटस कब मिला था, ये सारी चीज़ें जो है, रूरल डीलरशिप स्कीम क्या है, these things in red are most important for you. So once you download the documentation, make sure you just go with all the headers. Then comes the very important aspect is, whenever you visit any website, the vision and mission part is already listed, which is being given here in the documentation too. Now vision is the long-term goal of any organization, mission is the short-term goal. Sometimes when they ask you why you want to join this particular organization, you can mention the vision of the organization which aligns with your vision of life too. Like, what is the vision of SAIL? It is to be respected world-class corporation and the leader in Indian steel business in quality, productivity, profitability and customer satisfaction. So you should be aware about it. Now these are certain just claims like about the related to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's visit and related to Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi. She was gathering on occasion of concrete pouring of the first plants of Bokaro Steel Limited. So it is just kind of a news what it headed in the past. Now related to products and services, yes. So in which products and services does SAIL cater in? So it is a structure steel, flat products, long products, specialty steel, railway products, pipes and tubes. So you should be aware about it. Now they can ask you like, who are the current competitors in the market? Suppose you are in association with JSW or something. So how we are different from others, or who are the competitors in the market currently? So you should be aware about the market awareness also. So once you're heading towards it, market survey is very important, right? So from both public and private sectors, who are the players, you should be aware about Tata Steels, JSW, General Steels and Private Limited, Power Limited, Rashtriya Ispat, RINL and SS Steel. Now related to financial performances, the quarter performances, I've given you the list of the questions. You can just prepare it accordingly. Okay. Then related to production performance, here I'm just giving the glimpse. Once you have a hard copy of it, it becomes very easier for you, because you will just know what drafts you need to aware, and once you're aware about every segment of the documentation, it actually gives you very kind of a confidence that helps you to ingrain that things in your personality. Now, what are the recent projects which are being carried by SAIL? This is something very important, and this is the need. Like, can you just list out your interest, why you're interested in SAIL, why not any other organization? And or it could be that you could be telling about certain projects which could be carried near your state, or you have certain inclination towards, and that is why you want to join this sector. So yes, there are certain projects, collaboration with BHP for carbon emission reduction, expansion of Rourkela steel plant, and then it is the CSR activities which are carried in which domains. The CSR activities are carried by SAIL. The awards and recognitions which it got in 2024. So, Green Tech Pollution Control, Waste Management and Recycling Award was given in 2024. Odisha CSR and Sustainable and Excellency Award in 2024. GEEF Global Sustainability Award 2024. So, all these are award sections which have been recognitions which it has achieved in market. Then it has a joint venture with NTPC related to green technology, because every PSC, everything is giving, it's contributing towards sustainable energy, green energy. SAIL integrated steel plants, special steel plants. So you should be aware about the number of steel plants, where they are located, like in Odisha, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Arsenal, West Bengal. The special steel plants, and if you have ever visited towards this, that can also be a very important question towards it. Then refractory plants, ferro-alloy plants. So see, every little minute detail is given to you in this documentation. That is why I say you, this documentation is going to be very, very important for you. I cannot just read everything. That is why I've already mentioned that please go to the website, download the documentation, because one important dimension is related to organization. Once you are just reading with the organization, it becomes easier for you to grasp the information. Like here also related to the enterprises, India has 14 central public enterprises that have been conferred with Maharatna status. So which are those? And when SAIL got the status of Maharatna, that is very, very important. Now, Maharatna public sectors, Navratna public sectors, Mini Ratna. Now, what is the difference between them? That is also very important for you to know. Now, in Center, Ministry of Heavy Industries and Steels. So, who is currently into the management part, right? And who is the chairman of Steel Authority of India, SAIL currently. Then it is electrical engineer from IIT BHU. He holds PG diploma in resource management. And then it is related to he joined SAIL in 1987 in companies Bhilai. So, basically about the management part, you should be very, very goodly aware about it, these things. Right now comes the very important segment, that why do you want to join SAIL? See, this question has an answer, but this is just a skeleton that is provided to you. The basic part it is that it could be your progressive promotional career, you are switching from other job, so you wanted a growth enrichment in terms of knowledge, you wanted a career expansion in your terminology. So basically the answer is very much subjective, but yes, you can just join certain things like this skeleton and certain pointers from your side, because students generally come and say job security, work-life balance, which is a big no in any answer. So do not put these words in your answers, right? This is something important for you to know. Then why do you think you should be recruited? Because we have massive other options why you are the better fit. So you can join this answer into two domains. One is your hard skills part, other is your soft skills part. So basically that showcases your experience, if you have any previous experience where you learn certain traits and skills. And soft skills, it could be your leadership, your practical approach, your social approach. It could be anything that is related to the profile you are heading towards, right? Now, these are the traits that are very, very important. Now, what will you give back to SAIL if we recruit you? Obviously, like at the end also they ask you what certain questions if you have from your mind, any of the expectations from SAIL which you want to mention. Now, there are certain list of generic HR questions which I'm going to tell you related to safety management. Tell us about yourself and your background in safety management. Why do you want to work in SAIL? What are your key strengths and weaknesses as a safety professional? How do you handle your work-life balance or work pressure in a high-risk environment? Where do you see yourself in next 5 years? Then why we should hire you on the post of assistant manager, safety position? How would you motivate the employees in case of taking the safety seriously? How do you balance cost efficiently? Data analytics in safety management, role of insurance in workplace safety? How do you conduct RCA for workplace accidents? Now, essential components of successful workplace safety culture. Impact of human error in industrial accidents and how to minimize it, about the KPIs and how would you ensure the safety measures related to it. Can you give an example of a critical decision you made that improved workplace safety, and how would you explain a complex safety regulation to works with minimal education, and what methods do you use to ensure employees retain safety training information? Now basically I've not read all the questions. See, there are multiple questions, and in detail I'm going to give you another documentation where I'll be briefing about all the important HR questions that could be asked in your interview for the safety management position. Now just prepare together, practice certainly mock sessions, HR sessions, technical snap sessions, and with the GD, GTs, case studies, everything is very, very important for you. So all the best guys, prepare to the best, and in case of any queries, just pop up in the comment section and we are happy to help you. Take care and have a good day.